So like many of you, I have a new game that came out pretty recently that I have been playing a lot of lately, and I mean a lot. I'm talking like truly embarrassing amounts of my free time are being sunken into this game, as in every single day without fail since the day it came out levels of commitment. This game has become my default leisure time activity over the past month, the thing that I turn to automatically whenever I have a couple minutes of free time, and the thing that whenever I'm not actively playing it, I absolutely cannot stop thinking about. That game is Call of Duty Warzone. Now, considering what I usually talk about on this channel, Nintendo stuff or Monkey Ball or whatever, maybe you're shocked by the fact that my current obsession is a free-to-play Call of Duty Battle Royale. I imagine you don't associate any of those three phrases with me. Well, maybe the first one. But the other two, definitely not, right? I think I was more surprised than anyone when it managed to get its hooks into me. But get its hooks into me, it did. And so after sinking dozens of hours into the game, I finally made a deal with myself. If my addiction to Warzone ever got so bad that I actually reached rank 100, it meant that I had to make a video about it. And it happened. Now, this is not a review, so I'm going to skip past talking about the obvious stuff, the shooting fundamentals, they're great. The graphics, they're also great. The sound design, also very great. And I'm actually not going to talk about the main core gameplay of Warzone at all, at least not in this video. Instead, I'm going to talk about one specific mechanic of Warzone that I can't stop thinking about. And that thing I'm about to talk about, it's what happens when you die. But first, here's a quick message from brico-meiser. Hey guys, it's me here, and I'm popping in to send you one-of-a-kind special message about a game that brico-meiser loves, and I'm gonna make it come in here on the screen so that you can enjoy it with me. It's almost here. That's right, it's Raid Shadow Legends. Special game that the brico-meiser found just now. Now, special game Raid Shadow Legends is role players type game. And when you think our role player game, you might think of maybe a paper guy or him and his brother running around jumping on guys or hitting them with a hammer. This is not that type of game. We're talking adults, frightening, grim, dark, serious RPG role-playing gameplay. You see what I'm saying? And so it's got tactics. It's got gremlins that you can be. You can be a swordsman or maybe a wizard's mage. Alright? You get to be different type of guys in the game. I'll tell you, word to the wise, I'll warn you, so far none of those guys have been brico-meiser. I got 7 or 8 different guys that I've hired, and they're hard at work trying to crack the game and fill it up with pictures of me so that it's only going to be brico-meiser in there. As it stands, that is not the case, but we're working towards it every single day, alright? Raid Shadow Legends just doubled the login reward program from a 90-day to a 180-day program. So that means every single day you boot her up, you get a different type of special reward, all the way up to and including a free legendary champion. So it's almost like she's an advent calendar from Christmas, but it's a 180-day long calendar, and behind each and every little door you get gaming. You get to select gaming from it. So what are you waiting for? You go down to the video description, you're gonna click the link, and if you're a new player of Raid, you're gonna get to 100,000 silver and 50 gems and 1 energy refill and 1 free champion, who her name is Adjudicator, which I looked up, and she looks like this, and she's got a skill called Isolation Cell. Thank you so much for listening to brico-meiser's new message. It's Raid Shadow Legends. Once again, we've got hyperlinks down below located in the description on the video. Use your mouse or your finger to click. Okay, so there's a lot I admire about Call of Duty Warzone, but gun to my head, if I had to pick my single favorite thing about it, it's the Gulag. Now, it's very possible you've already heard about the Gulag mechanic, but in case you haven't, here's how it works. You know how the whole point of the Battle Royale genre is permadeath? Like, when you die, you stay dead, and that's it, game over, but that's what gives it the stakes? That's how it works in virtually every Battle Royale out there. But for Call of Duty Warzone, they opted for something much weirder. In this game, when you die, instead of just dying, a small cutscene plays where your character is somewhat inexplicably dragged into a prison cell. The next thing you know, you're in control of the game again, but now you have been relocated to a jail and stripped of all your weapons and armor. Soon enough, you find yourself in the prison shower with one other player. Both of you are given a random weapon, plus a random piece of non-lethal and lethal equipment, think a grenade or C4, and your objective is to just simply fight to the death. The fights are quick and intense, usually just a couple of seconds long, and at the end of the fight, the loser stays dead, and the winner gets to redeploy right back into the main game. Now this is already conceptually very cool. It allows players a roughly 50-50-ish shot at getting back into the fight, or if you're me, like a 20-80 shot. I'm not good at Call of Duty. And obviously, if you win your fight and get redeployed, that feels good. It also mitigates a common problem with Battle Royale games, which is how crummy it feels to drop into a match and then die immediately. Because at least in Warzone, you know you have this chance at redemption waiting for you in the Gulag. You know what it reminds me of, actually? It reminds me of, you know when you miss a shot in Peggle and the coin flip pops up and gives you a 50-50 chance of giving you the ball back? This is like that, but you have a gun and can affect the outcome. So we've established that the concept of the Gulag is good, but really, the execution of the Gulag is the thing I'm fascinated with. I mean, first, it's just incredibly tense. From both a narrative and a gameplay perspective, you and your opponent are both literally fighting for your life. And the look and especially the sound design of the Gulag really drive home that point.
You win this fight and you return to the front line. But if you lose, you're done here. Time to earn your freedom, soldier.
Making it so whether it's your first fight in the Gulag or your 100th, it's still a stressful, high-stakes adrenaline rush of a battle, even when you lose. Now, there are 3 possible Gulag arenas you can spawn into, fun fact, and because all 3 of those arenas are perfectly symmetrical, and because both players are given the same weapons and equipment, it really feels like a fair fight. But the thing about the Gulag, and honestly the aspect of it that I love the most, is the subtle ways in which it is not a fair fight.
You killed me.
See, usually when you spawn into the Gulag, you're not going to get into a 1v1 fight right away because there's currently one in progress. So instead, you're spawned into this upper sort of jail cell viewing area where you can watch the people who got there first battle each other to the death alongside everyone else who's waiting their turn to fight. Now, you'd be forgiven for assuming that all there is to do up here is just wait around for your turn to battle, perhaps while aimlessly punching other players in the face or reveling in Captain Price's insane narration, which honest to God sounds like a parody of a parody of a parody of a British person.
These wankers are proper jeering. Time for a bit of argy-bargy.
But there's actually more to it than that, and to me this is the thing that makes the Gulag really special. While waiting for your turn in that upper viewing area, you can actually interfere with other players' one-on-one fights from behind the bars as they're happening, and even cause entire fights to be won or lost. Here's what I mean. When you're in that sort of lockdown waiting area, you can press the lethal equipment button to throw a stone into the arena. These stones, if you manage to connect one with an enemy, does 1 damage to that opponent and temporarily stuns them, and each spectator is given 5 stones per fight. Now, what this does to the vibe of the Gulag is cool. It really leads to this atmosphere that makes the Gulag fights feel like they're taking place in a chaotic and totally lawless arena. And you never feel safe for a second, which really adds to the immersion. But it also has serious gameplay ramifications. For instance, camping in the Gulag is far less viable because you'll likely just end up getting pummeled with rocks by the spectators above.
Capture the objective.
Now, in a match where both players have lethal handguns and 100 health, 1 damage and a bit of stun might not seem like much, but think about it. Warzone has already been downloaded over 50 million times, which means that every single day, those small, seemingly insignificant slivers of health will make or break tens of thousands of Gulag battles. Now, let's say, as often happens in Call of Duty Warzone, you and your whole squad get wiped out and sent to the Gulag at the same time. This introduces an interesting wrinkle to the Gulag metagame because this time, when it's your turn for the one-on-one fight, you have a teammate watching from above who can verbally feed you information on where your opponent's located, giving you a truly unfair advantage in the fight.
Onto your left, he's in the middle. Onto your right, far right. Right behind the locker, now he's in the middle. Go right, hide behind the middle. He's on the middle.
Center middle.
He's right in the middle.
Nice.
It is
completely intentional and really awesome. And in case you're still not convinced that the Gulag is worth spending time talking about, let me show you something that happened to me just 2 days after Call of Duty Warzone came out.
This is the Gulag. You survive and you can redeploy.
I had just been sent to the Gulag and I'm watching these 2 players duke it out below me.
You're up next, mate. Get ready.
Now, naturally, I start pummeling the first guy I see with rocks, not for any particular reason, just because he's there and they give you rocks. And then I notice something, a pack of C4 that he's laid down to try and bait his opponent into walking into so he can blow it up and kill him. Now, at this point, I've already thrown 4 of my 5 rocks at this guy, so I've only got 1 left. But out of sheer curiosity, I figure I might as well try. So I take aim, press the rock button, and... let's watch that again. It's just a completely unfair, completely hilarious, one-of-a-kind moment that I could never have gotten from any other game. And at the end of the day, I just really, truly admire the series of design decisions that led this game's developers, all 8,000 of them, to making this Gulag mode. I mean, including something as weird as the Gulag at all in your Call of Duty Battle Royale is already pretty risky, so the fact that they then intentionally filled it to the brim with these weird little details and edge cases just to make it a little more exciting and immersive, both for the players fighting and for the players watching, it just feels thoughtful and like a lot of extra love and care went into it, and IMO, that's something worth commending them on.